Hey y'all, if you are interested in exploring wheel pose, I have a free gift for you. So stay after class and get the link and let's play with wheel. Hello and welcome to your practice. Today going to do a heart opening slow flow. And I want to offer this beautiful word and concept of bodhicitta. And it's a Sanskrit word that means awake mind, awake heart. So bodhi means awake and heart. Chitta means mind, or also translated as heart. And I like this idea that mind and heart could be the same thing, huh? Because it feels very different. Like often it feels like we're ruled by one or the other, but to think about them being in alignment, that translation maybe as both of them is quite beautiful. So awake heart mind. So bodhicitta. And this is a part of all of us. It's not something that we have to go and find or something that we need to necessarily, aspire to. We need to aspire to actually cultivate what's already inside of us. Like we already have this capacity to awaken. And what that sounds a little esoteric, but really to awaken is like to be present to life, to be present with ourselves, to be present with those around us, to remove some of the filters and the protective mechanisms that we have shrouded ourselves with for good reason. You know, life is challenging. Life can be hard, so we naturally try to protect ourselves. But do we still need those protections? And can we live in a braver way where we can open and awaken our heart-mind and be more fully in our lives? So in our asana practice today, we will open the heart and we'll move with intention to cultivate our inner bodhicitta. So let's begin. Let's use universal trust mudra. So hands out, hands together, interlace the fingers, thumbs up, open the palms, bring it to the heart. Bring the heart back into the hands. Universal trust. And this feels really trusting, doesn't it? It has that sensation of, I got you. Beautiful. Beautiful supportive mudra. So, placing your intention in your heart, in your mind, of cultivating this wise, kind part of yourself that you already have in there, that doesn't have the need for all of the defense mechanisms or the worries or the anxieties around belonging. It is able to stand sturdy and honest. Bodhicitta. Let's inhale it in. Hold. And exhale, making space. Once more like this. Inhale it in. Sponge up the intention. Hold. Let it infuse. And then on the exhale, push the palms away, out in front of you. Inhale, lift the arms up, slight bend in the elbows. And find a little bit of a spinal wave here with the hands flipped up. Both directions. And then cactus the arms. Stick out the tongue. And then bring the hands back to heart center. We'll do that a little bit quicker with breath now. Inhale. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, push it forward, round the back. Inhale, lift the palms up. Soft bend in the elbows. And then exhale, lion's breath, cactus arms. And hands to heart center. Let's bring the right hand down. Left arm swoops up. Let the heart open. So you kind of swoop the arm up and continue to let the heart open. Maybe cactus the top arm a little bit. And then curl the heart down. So if you had a spotlight on your heart, first it's turning up and then it's turning down towards the ground. You're going to swoop through center. Left hand plants. Open the top arm. Lift up. And then the heart shines down. Swoop across. Just move with your own breath here. Inhale is opening. Exhale is transitioning. And once more each side. And coming back to center to move the block. You can bring them up towards the top of the mat if you have them. And let's find tabletop position. And find Hasta Bandha. So Hasta Bandha being palm lock. So you're growing roots through the hands into the earth. So you're reaching down into the earth at the same time that you're receiving the earth. And you're receiving right through the center of the palm. So it's this equal opposition. You root down and then you rebound up. So it kind of feels like gecko palms a little bit. And you create some buoyancy. Soften the elbows a little bit as well. And then just make some organic movements here. Wag the tail, explore the nooks and crannies. And find stillness. Put the weight into the left hand and then draw the right arm back, peel open, gaze up towards the thumbs. Oof. A little crack of the back here. One more inhale. And then exhale, reach below, thread the needle, but don't come all the way down. Just reach as far as you can and then press down through the left hand, come all the way back up. Twice more like this. Push and lift. And once more. Push and lift. All right, listen up. You're going to stay twisted. Bring the hips towards the heels. Lift up, right hand goes behind the back. Left arm swoops forward and open. Cactus the top arm. You have a little bit of suction through that top palm. And maybe you lift the hips. Just an option. And release. Come into child's pose. Wave both hands back. Forehead touches the ground. 3 rounds of breath. Let's bring in a humming breath. So close the lips, and on an exhale, you're going to make an audible exhale, but it's going to be with the lips closed. Reach the arms forward. Keep the chin tucked towards the chest as you round and come forward. Tabletop position. Have a little wiggle, a little wag, and we'll switch sides. Put the weight into the right hand. Left arm peels up and back and open. Gaze up towards the fingers. And then exhale, reach below, thread the needle, reach through, and then press into the right hand to grow and open. Twice more. Once more. All right, this time stay twisted. Bring the booty back towards the heels. Left hand plants, right arm swoops up, and cactuses open. Maybe lift the hips. And slowly release child's pose. One round of breath. Humming exhale. Arms reach forward. Chin stays tucked into the chest, round as you come forward. And then soften the elbows. Get diagonal from like the torso to the knees. Soften the elbows, and we're gonna come down kind of like backwards. So we're gonna soften the elbows, lift the heart up, let the thighs drip down, and continue to bend the elbows as you come down to the ground. So you're swaying down. Let the forehead touch the ground, kiss it. And then inhale, tops of the feet come down to the ground. Cobra pose. Soft or onto the fingertips. So you're not pressing down too hard, but maybe onto the fingertips in to the earth. Slowly release down. Again, inhale, low cobra, open the heart. Maybe you can smile across the collarbone just slightly. Get a little bit broader from shoulder to shoulder. Release. This time, firmly plant the hands into the ground. Shift back, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Find your way back. Pedal out. Lift the heels and then slowly walk forward. Take about 5-6 steps to get to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Grab opposite elbows or link the hands behind the neck. Generous bend in the knees and find a little vibration here. And maybe bring in the humming as well. So good for the nervous system, combining the shaking and the humming. Slowly release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Unfurl the heart and exhale, fold. So kind of puff up the back as you come up. Inhale, puff up the upper back and then lengthen. And then fold with length once more. Inhale, puff up. And lengthen. Take a big step back with the right foot. The back knee comes down. Maybe you have blocks to the sides, a handy place for blocks. Anjaneyasana. Hands can come to knees. They can also come to blocks. We're not wanting to, doesn't matter how far you go forward here, we want to keep some integrity in the torso. So come up, press into the front foot a little bit to find some space. And then inhale, lift the arms up. Cactus the arms, pull the heart center forward, and as you do that, let the hands come all the way down and interlace them behind the back. Roll the shoulders back, and then let the fist sink, melt down the back thigh. Now you can come into the hips a little bit more if you have space to. Soft bend in the elbows, heart pulling forward, elbows pulling back. Can the front sheath of the body be long, meaning pubic bone to belly, belly to heart, heart to the throat? Find space. Reach up. Slowly release. Hands to the floor or to blocks, framing the left foot. Pyramid pose. Lengthen the front leg and pour forward. 3 times, grow the spine and lengthen. Halfway lift. Move with your breath. Once more. Beautiful. Halfway lift, press into the hands, around the upper back, flex the front foot. This is just an option, but maybe you lift the heel just a little bit and then drag it back to the back of the mat, downward facing dog. Maybe the hands stay on blocks, that's fine. Inhale, wave forward plank pose.
Slowly let the knees drip down, and then the hips go back to the heels. So active child's pose. Round the upper back, chin to the chest. Keep the hips to the heels, and we'll round and slowly come up to seated on the heels. Inhale, the arms lift up. And we're going to come into like a camel variation where it's almost like you're lifting onto, you're going to do a pull-up, like an imaginary pull-up here. That's the only kind of pull-ups I can do. Grab onto the bar. And you're going to press down into the knees, and you're going to bend the elbows out, like as if you're going to pull your heart up, up, up. So you're standing on your knees, pressing the pelvis forward, and the arms are cactus arms now. Maybe they come all the way down to the hips. Tailbones lengthening down towards the backs of the knees, and the front sheath of the body's opening up. And slowly release. Untuck the toes. Child's pose. Hands waved back. 3 rounds of breath humming. Reach the arms forward. Round the back as you come forward. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Lift the heels and walk the feet forward slowly. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift just once. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Big step back with the left foot. Back knee drips down. And come up either to blocks, Anjaneyasana, with hands on the blocks, or hands to the knees. And just kind of settle your hips here. Find where even is, so you can go a little bit too far in each direction to figure out where that sweet center spot is. That's how we find balance-ish. And then whenever you feel strong and sturdy here, which isn't at a deepest point, pressing down through the front foot, and the arms can come up, Anjaneyasana. And then inhale, cactus the arm. The heart comes forward and the hips can begin to drip down a little bit here. And the hands will come behind the back. Continue to pull the front hip back. Hands interlace, elbows bend. Roll the shoulders back as you drip the fist down the back thigh. Option, if the hips feel square and you have space, you can lift the front heel and see how that changes the pose. Steady breath. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Frame the front foot with your hands or hands on blocks, pyramid pose. Inhale, halfway lift, get long, and release. The front leg does not need to be straight. Twice more. It's just getting long. Again. Rhythmic cadence. This time, flex the front foot. Press down into the blocks. Puff up the upper back. This is just optional. Engage the core and lift the front heel. And maybe you can step it back, downward facing dog. All right, lift the heels, wave forward, plank pose. Slowly drip the knees down, hips come back to the heels. Active child's pose, now round the back. Sit bones go towards the heels as you drag the hands back slowly. They can graze the thighs. Toe sit. Inhale, lift the arms. Grab the imaginary bar. And then inhale, press down through the knees as the heart pulls up. Open the heart. Maybe the hands come to the hips. Maybe they come to the heels. Front sheath of the body gets long as the sit bones reach down towards the backs of the knees. Heart gets wide and broad. Slowly release. Head comes up last. Hips sink down. Observe the effects. There's some energy that comes along with opening the heart. I imagine that to be not only physical. Coming back to the intention of rediscovering or discovering for the first time this quality of bodhicitta. Awaken heart mind. Incrementally becoming more present with life, more in our life without the filters. One last little ditty here before we close up. I know this is a crowd fave. Bring the toes together, the knees wide, dancing camel. So if you've done it with me before, go for it. If you haven't, we'll take the right hand behind, left arm swoops up. So we've already kind of been here, and we're just going to do it on both sides. So this will be an inhale, and then the exhale is the swooping, and then plant the left hand. There's your other inhale. So just move back and forth. If you'd like to lift the hips, you can. You don't need to. But be thinking about opening the front sheath of the body, protecting the low back. So when we have a strong back, we can have a soft, open front. We have that sturdy foundation to let the heart be awake. And once more each side. And then coming into a seat on your knees or in Sukhasana whenever you are complete. And we'll just take a couple rounds of breath together. 3 more humming breaths. And we'll have a bit of a pause at the top. So we'll inhale, hold, just kumbhaka, breath retention, and then exhale with the hum 3 times, yeah? Inhale. Pause at the top. Inhale. Pause. You don't have to stay with me. You can do this on your own. Let's actually open mouth for this last one. Maybe an om, eh? Pause at the top. A few moments to feel what you feel. And take one hand to the heart. Take your ring finger to your third eye. Just a moment of connection here, heart and mind. Bringing together the heart, mind. Big inhale. And exhale, pour forward in thanks and gratitude. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. If you are enjoying the heart openers, then check out this free class. So I'm also talking about bodhicitta, but we are progressing. We're awakening the heart bigger into Urdhva Dhanurasana, into wheel pose. So if you want to explore this bigger progression and a little bit more exploration of bodhicitta, then click the link in the description. Head over to CC Weiss Studio. I'd love to offer you this gift.